I'm AJ Bianco from Podcast PD, a proud member of the Education Podcast Network, just like this show you're listening to right now. The opinions expressed are those of the individual host. Make sure you check out all the other great podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com. And get ready, because the learning begins in 3, 2, 1.
Coming up on episode number 126 of the House of EdTech podcast, I've got a House of EdTech recommendation for all you trivia buffs, the House of EdTech VIP, and the featured content. I'm going to give you 15 must-have Chrome extensions for 2019. Strike up the band. Welcome to the House of EdTech podcast. I am your host, Chris Nessie. The House of EdTech explores how technology is changing the way teachers teach and the impact that technology is having in education. I discuss technology that is changing our classrooms and schools, and I share tools and tips that you can hear today and use tomorrow. You're going to hear the stories of teachers, leaders, and creators just like you. The purpose? Whether you use it or not, technology is changing the way you teach and how your students learn. Hello, podcast people. Welcome to episode number 126. Thank you for making the House of EdTech a piece of your anytime, anywhere professional development. And let me tell you, this is another jam-packed episode. I guess I'm on a bit of a streak here in 2019. So I'm not going to delay this too long. I've got the recommendation. I've got a number of Chrome extensions that I want to share with you. But first, a little announcement here at the top of the episode regarding the House of EdTech 60-Sec Rec. I started the House of EdTech 60-Sec Rec as an Amazon smart speaker flash briefing. And I launched this back in the summer, spring, fall of 2018, and I tried to keep up with it as best I could. But you know what I found out? I learned something. It is very difficult to produce content 5 days per week, even if each one is only 60 seconds. Relaunching on January 21st is the all-new revamped House of EdTech 60-Sec Rec. I'm going to be putting it out 3 days per week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you can add it to your Amazon smart speaker by going on a computer where you use Amazon. You can go to chrisnessie.com/ALEXA, and I'm not going to say the woman's name because, well, there's one on my desk and I don't want to inconvenience you either. So chrisnessie.com/ALEXA, or you can add it via your ALEXA app on your mobile device. Now, if you don't have an Amazon smart speaker, you might be thinking, hey, I want to get these as well. The other way that you can get this content is by becoming an awesome supporter of the podcast. Again, the Awesome Supporter program is powered by Patreon, and Patreon gives me the ability to create a content RSS feed that is private. You will automatically get access to this RSS feed that's special, and you can add it to your podcast catcher of choice. Now, if you're interested in becoming an awesome supporter, stick around to the end of the episode, and I will give you all the details. Now it's time for this episode's House of EdTech recommendation. And today I would like to recommend the Random Trivia Generator, which you can find at randomtriviagenerator.com. The Random Trivia Generator seems like a contradiction because trivia can already be seen as, well, random. For instance, why do you need to know which bird lays the largest eggs? You don't. But it's always fun to know the answer in case there is no internet connection and someone desperately needs to know. P.S. The answer is ostrich. I recommend you check this site regularly because they plan on expanding their database to contain the most popular known facts to completely obscure information that will stump even the most seasoned trivia player. This is truly a trivia site that helps you fill your brain with useless information. I've been enjoying it during my prep and lunchtime. I've enjoyed using this site in class for the last few weeks, and I think you might like to check it out as well. So again, go to randomtriviagenerator.com, and that's my House of Ed Tech recommendation. Let's get into the featured content of this episode, where I'm going to be sharing 15 must-have Chrome extensions that could benefit you, the teacher, you, the administrator, you, the tech coach. Some might even benefit your students. But a whole episode about Chrome extensions for students, that's an episode for another day. Today I'm going to focus on all of us. Now, what are the benefits of Chrome extensions? Well, they can make things easier, more accessible, more visible, and more convenient. There are dozens of potential benefits for you in your classroom and school. You can clip a web page to any number of note-taking apps. You could add a reference to a Google Doc. You can model for students how to add a citation. You could send a link to colleagues without opening another tab. You can also find a useful resource for your lessons. And when you do, you can scoop it, you could tweet it, you could pin it. You get the idea. Find a post you want to read? Well, don't email it to yourself. Use Pocket, use Google Keep, or send it to Flipboard. There are so many apps that can manage so many things, and extensions let you do these things real easy. The extensions I'm about to share will increase your efficiency, provide a benefit to content and curriculum, and allow you to connect with other teachers, parents, and students, or enhance your workflow as an educator. Now, please take caution. Please note that too many extensions can and probably will decrease the speed of your Chrome browser. We all know that speed is one of Chrome's most important talents. Now, you're not limited to how many extensions you can use, but the speed of your computer, available memory, Wi-Fi speed, how many tabs you keep open, and more, these are all things that will impact your browser's apparent usable speed. So add and remove extensions to optimize your setup so that Chrome remains fast and a valuable tool to you as a teacher. And really everything I'm about to add, some are fun, and, extensions, to me, they are like, getting power windows or getting some of the bells and whistles that you might get on a car. You don't necessarily need all of them, but when you have them, they can certainly make things a lot easier. So chrisnessy.com/126 will have links to all of these directly right to the Chrome web store. So let's dig in. First up is the Bitmoji Chrome extension. I love Bitmoji. I'm addicted to Bitmojis, and you might be too. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, first go to bitmoji.com and get yourself a Bitmoji avatar. They're tons of fun. What the Bitmoji Chrome extension allows you to do is use your personal Bitmoji on many of your favorite sites. You can insert Bitmojis into emails as you type. They actually have a Gmail add-on that lets you insert Bitmojis directly into your Gmail messages. You can copy and paste them virtually anywhere on the web. If you're not a Bitmoji user, definitely get the mobile app. Go to bitmoji.com. It's for iOS. It's for Android. It's a bunch of fun, and it's fun to make them look like yourself. Wherever you go, your avatar is now one click away when you log into Chrome. Two of my favorite uses, again, I use it in Gmail. I also love the convenience of being able to drag and drop them into Google slideshows that I make. So check out the Bitmoji Chrome extension. Next up, we have the Nimbus Screenshot and Screen Recorder. This one, Nimbus, it allows you to screen capture full web pages or a selection or any part or the whole thing. You can record screencasts, and you can record video from your full screen. So you can capture the whole web page or just a small piece of it. You can record video from your whole screen or just the tab you're looking at. You have the ability to edit these screenshots from within the interface for Nimbus, and you can save your screenshots as JPEGs or PNGs. And if you're a user of hotkeys, you can also configure some hotkeys so that way you can capture these screens even faster. And this is one I use all the time if I'm making tutorials or even just trying to capture pieces of websites that I might like to use in Photoshop, or if I'm using it in Pixlr. A very valuable screenshot tool, and it's my preferred screenshot tool. You might have your favorite. I would love to know what that is. Go over to chrisnessy.com/126, share them in the show notes as a comment on the blog post, or you can hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Nessy and use hashtag HouseOfEdTech to share yours. Next up, a very popular Chrome extension, Screencastify. Screencastify is the #1 screen recorder for Chrome. You can capture, edit, and share videos in seconds. We're editing videos, we're sharing videos, you're recording videos with Screencastify. And one of the favorite things about it for me is that it connects to my Google Drive. When I record these screencasts, it goes right into Google Drive, and then I can easily share them. I can publish them directly to YouTube. It is free, and there's also a premium version, but for free, you are limited to 10 minutes, which is a lot of time if you're making a video. We all go on YouTube, and not many people are watching really long videos. And also for free, you can do 50 videos per month, and there is a Screencastify watermark. If that's the price of free, I'm willing to pay with the watermark. Make sure you check out Screencastify. And if you've never made a screencast, this is a very easy tool to use. And when you make that first screencast, share it with me. I would love to see it and share it. And maybe you'll teach me something, which I'm always looking to do, and that's learn. Next up, this is a 2-for-1 special. This is Adblock Plus and Adblock for YouTube. Are you tired of ads in Chrome? Well, until the version of Chrome that they talk about that's going to have like a built-in ad blocker, this is the best Chrome extension that's going to do that for you. Adblock Plus is an easy-to-use ad blocker that blocks video and social media advertising. Adblock Plus will change the way you see the web. Literally. To use Adblock Plus, you just click Add to Chrome, and then you'll see a little stop sign that has ABP in the icon, and you'll see how many ads you've blocked, and you can change your settings and even report bugs, of course. Adblock Plus supports the Acceptable Ads Initiative, or the AA initiative. So these are non-intrusive ads that do not disrupt your web experience. They are shown by default to support websites that rely on advertising revenue, while respecting you, the consumer, and the experience you have. AA can be turned on and off at any time by you, the user. If you want to block every single ad, you do have the ability to do that. Now, the YouTube ad blocker, this is also a ton of fun. And I use the term fun a little more loosely. But the YouTube ad blocker removes all the ads, the pre-roll ads, the text and banner ads, and you can save time by having to click skip the ad. Ad blocker for YouTube automatically blocks all the ads on YouTube. So you can save time by not having to deal with them. So install both of these extensions, block the ads on the websites you frequent, and block the ads on YouTube. Next up, it's Grammarly. Grammarly, if you're not using Grammarly, it will improve your writing. I have it in Office here on my House of Ed Tech Studio computer. I've got Grammarly inside of Chrome. I've got Grammarly inside of Gmail, and it certainly improves the way that I write. It's awesome. Grammarly will make sure that your messages, documents, and social media posts are clear, mistake-free, and impactful. Adding Grammarly to Chrome means that your spelling and grammar will be vetted in Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr, and pretty much everywhere you want to write when you're online. Once you register your new account, you will start to receive weekly emails with personalized insights and performance stats. You can sort of see, this is where you want the numbers to go down so you can see you're making less grammatical and spelling mistakes, and it'll let you know how much it's helping you. If you're working on a large project, an essay, a blog post, no sweat. You can create and store all of your documents in a Grammarly editor on the Grammarly website. It's great for contextual spelling mistakes. So there, to, bow, and bow. It understands what you would want to be saying and will make suggestions and even just make the corrections for you. And it's got a great, solid, as the name would suggest, grammar checker. So if you want to add Grammarly and you're not already using it, go to chrisnessy.com/Grammarly and you can add it today for free. Next up, this one is a personal favorite. It's called Momentum. And what Momentum does, it replaces the new tab page with a personal dashboard featuring to-do, weather, and inspiration. I really like Momentum because when I click and open a new tab in Chrome, it shows me a really beautiful picture of a place I may never see or get to in person, but it's really nice photographs. You get the Google search bar. You have the ability, if you create an account and you log into it, to kind of keep track of a to-do list. And you can eliminate distractions and beat procrastination with a reminder to focus on what you're doing that day or what you're doing in a new tab. And there's over 3 million people that use this and they get inspired to create things online because they are focused. So you get a new inspirational photo and quote each day. You can set a daily goal, focus, or intention. And you can keep track of your tasks with a to-do list. And you can see the weather and an upcoming forecast. And of course, you have links and the ability to do your Google searches. So check out Momentum. And if you do, I would love to know what you think. Next up, so you put all of these Chrome extensions into Chrome, but you need a good way to manage them because before you know it, you'll have all these little icons at the top of your browser, and then there's going to be all ones you don't see. So this next one is called Extensity, and it allows you to quickly enable or disable Chrome extensions. So if you're tired of having too many extensions in your toolbar, try Extensity. It is lightning fast for enabling and disabling extensions for Google Chrome. Just enable the extension when you want to use it and disable it when you want to get rid of it for just a little while for any one extension that you have installed. And you can also launch Chrome apps right from the list. I love Extensity, and it's actually helped me see what's running and helped me to get rid of things that I'm like, wait, I never use that. So actually maybe that'll be a future episode where I tell you Chrome extensions I don't use anymore. We'll see about that. Next up, this is a great Chrome extension. Actually relates to a recommendation I had a couple episodes ago where I talked about not uncompressing, but kind of expanding out shortened URLs. So this one actually does that. It is the goo.gl, Goo.gl URL shortener. This extension is not an official Google Chrome extension, meaning it's not made by Google, but the goo.gl URL shortener allows you to shorten the current website URL using the goo.gl URL shortener, which, if you're like my district, they'll let you use that, but you can't use any of the other ones. So check this one out, add it, and you can shorten your URL links. You get access to data and stats related to all of your shortened URLs, and that could be pretty nice to know if people are actually clicking on the links that you create. Next up, we have Share to Classroom. This is one of my favorite Chrome extensions for something I do every day, and that's teach social studies. So you can get your class on the same web page instantly. Google Classroom teachers, you can save time and create more interactive classes with the Share to Classroom extension. What this extension allows you to do is push web pages to any of your classroom pages so they open instantly on your students' computers, which always freaks them out. With this extension, you can get your students on the right page quickly and reliably every time. You can also use the extension to take web content to post announcements. So maybe you don't want them to go to a web page right now, but you want to get a resource posted in your class stream. This allows you to do that. You can also take that web content and use the link, and it'll help you create assignments. And you can also save web pages to post to your classroom later. Now, if your students are using this extension, they can also use it to share web pages with you. And they don't have to, or you don't have to type out the entire URL. So it's really nice, super easy, great to use. Share to Classroom. Share it today. Everybody loves Google Keep. If you didn't know, I produced the Google Teacher Tribe podcast, and Matt Miller and Casey Bell love themselves some Google Keep. Kind of comes up almost every episode. Well, they talk about it a lot. Only naturally, if you are also a huge fan of Google Keep, you need the Google Keep extension in Google Chrome. It allows you to save whatever you're looking at online to Google Keep in a single click. Find a web page, image, or quote that you want to save for later. Click the extension button, and you can create a new Google Keep note and easily save things you care about to Google Keep. And you will have them synced across all of the platforms you use. So if you use Google Keep in your browser, it shows up instantly. If you're using it on Android or iOS, it's right there. If you're getting notifications on your wearable devices from Google Keep, they will show up. You can take notes for additional detail or add labels, or quickly categorize your note for later retrieval. So again, some of the highlight features: you can save URLs, text, and images from the extension. You can take notes on saved content. You can add labels. And again, everything automatically saves to Google Keep. Super cool. Next up, this is one that Derek Larson talks very highly of, and he's recommended it a number of times here on the podcast, and it's the Chrome extension that's tied to and is Lastpass. Lastpass is the award-winning password manager that saves your password and gives you secure access from every computer and every mobile device to all of your accounts. With LastPass, you only have to remember one password, your LastPass master password. Save all your usernames and passwords to LastPass, and it will auto-log you in to your sites and sync your passwords everywhere you need them. It saves everything. So again, you're going to be able to store your usernames and your passwords. You can check out fast by adding credit card data and shopping profiles. You can attach documents, PDFs, images, audio, and more to your LastPass account. And you can save many pieces of data that you need to keep secure and put them in an easy-to-find place. And it allows you to add, edit, view, and delete and organize all of your passwords. So if you're not really good at organizing that stuff, LastPass might be for you. Next up, we have OneTab. My pal AJ Bianco, co-host of the Podcast PD podcast, is really big on OneTab, and he's the one who turned me on to it a number of years ago. It allows you to save up to 95% of the memory and reduce tab clutter on your computer. Have you ever found yourself with too many tabs open? Well, with OneTab, you click the OneTab icon and it converts all of those tabs into a list. This list uses way less memory than running all of your tabs. Because if you didn't know, every time you open a tab in Chrome, it's like opening a new instance of Chrome. And I know for somebody like AJ, when he expands all his sites out, when we're recording Podcast PD or something like that, he has 15, 20, 25 tabs open. He's a tab monster. But with OneTab, he's able to manage them and he can open things as necessary. So you can create multiple lists that have different websites that you can then open up as you need them. So it's pretty cool for organizing tabs that you use regularly. Super cool, lots of fun. I think that's the phrase of the episode, super cool. So, yeah, check out OneTab. Next up is Pocket. Now, I don't quite recall, and I could have looked it up before I hit record, but I didn't. But at some point in the archive, I did a whole episode about Pocket. Well, Pocket has a Chrome extension, and it's the best way to save articles and videos. When you find something in Chrome that you want to view later, put it in Pocket. It automatically syncs to your phone, your tablet, or your computer. And you can view it at any time, even without an internet connection. That's a huge deal, especially if you read a lot of blog posts. So some of the features. You have a one-click saving of any page with the toolbar button, or you can do a keyboard shortcut. You can right-click the menu item to save a link, and no need to load the page first. You can quickly tag your items and categorize things, which is great if you are curating content, which I sometimes do. And of course, it syncs across all your devices. It's completely free, and you could upgrade to premium for a more powerful Pocket experience. But in my experience, you don't need to pay, so keep it free. Next up, this is an easy one. This is called Tab Resize, and it allows you to do the split screen very easily. It'll resize your current tab, and it'll do layouts, and it'll do separate windows, and it's really great with multi-monitor support. My students use this all the time on their Chromebooks when they have to do things side by side, when they have things where they're going to be reading documents and also completing an assignment, whether it's in Google Docs or making a presentation. They use this all the time. It's called Tab Resize. And again, there'll be a link out in the show notes at chrisnessy.com/126. Last up, this is number 15. This is a new one for me, and it is really awesome. It's called Black Menu for Google. This is the easiest way to access the Google universe. I've been using this for a few weeks, and I am in love with it. It's so slick looking. Let me tell you what it does. It gives you quick access to your favorite Google services with a convenient drop-down menu that lets you search, access any of the Google apps that you want. It's completely customizable. You can just add any of the tools, and when you hit the button, and I'm doing it right now, so I've customized mine, I have the ability to search, get right into Gmail, YouTube, Google Keep, Maps, Drive, Calendar, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And if, for example, I have this open, and I'm doing this here live as I record this, if I click Gmail, just by clicking the word Gmail, my inbox opens up within this little pop-up in the browser. And then they have the symbol for, I guess, popping out. So it will open Gmail in a new tab if I want it to. It is just really neat. So check out Black Menu for Google. And with that, those are 15 Chrome extensions that I think you should definitely be checking out here in 2019. Some of these you might use. Some of them, maybe they're new to you. I want you to head over to chrisnessy.com/126 or chrisnessy.com/feedback. Let me know if you're using any of these and how you might be using them with students, or if there's anything that you think everybody should know about who listens to this podcast that I didn't talk about. Again, send that to me, email me, tweet me, whatever the case may be. Get me your favorite Chrome extensions, and I'll be happy to share them on an upcoming episode of the podcast. This episode's House of EdTech VIP is Danita Cobble. Danita is from Louisville, Kentucky. She is a former 7th grade math and science teacher turned technology integration specialist. She's currently a tech integration specialist for Bullitt County Schools in Kentucky, where her main responsibilities are to introduce teachers to new technologies, help teachers integrate technology seamlessly into their lessons, and conduct professional development workshops. And she also gets to work with students and teach new technology skills. Danita has a BS in middle school education, math, and social studies. She has a master's in gifted and talented education, K through 12, and a middle school science certification and instructional technology cert. She's taught 6th grade geography, world history, 8th grade American history, 7th grade math, pre-algebra, and 7th grade science. You definitely want to connect with Danita. She is on Twitter at Danita Cobble, and that's DANITA COBBLE. Congratulations, Danita. You are a House of EdTech VIP. Thank you for checking out episode number 126 of the podcast. Again, if you have a favorite Chrome extension, please let us all know, because you're going to go out to chrisnessy.com/126 and you're going to leave a comment on the show notes, or maybe you feel like going to chrisnessy.com/feedback, send me an email, send me a SpeakPipe message. This is a podcast, so if you send me audio, I would love to play it on a future episode. If you found this episode valuable, hey, hopefully if you weren't subscribed, you are, and if you are subscribed, you stay subscribed. Something else I would love you to do is tell somebody else about the podcast, especially if you found this valuable. Go over to your social media platform of choice. Use the hashtag House of EdTech. I'm at Mr. Nessie or at House of EdTech on Instagram. So there are so many ways that you can share the podcast. You could also become an awesome supporter, which I talked about at the top of the episode. And now, if you become an awesome supporter, you do get access to the House of EdTech 60-sec rec Amazon flash briefing. Thank you to my current awesome supporters, Anthony Arnault of the New Teacher podcast at newteacher.org, Eric Kurtz from ControlAltAchieve.com, Dan Gallagher from GallagherTech.edublogs.org, Peggy George from Classroom 2.0 Live, Jen Giffen from the Shooks and GIF podcast at bit.ly/ShooksandGIF, Mark Grindell at Mark Grindell on Twitter, Jeff Herb from InstructionalTechTalk.com, Mike Messner at TeacherMike72 on Twitter, JP Prezavento from the Bits and Bytes of Education podcast. You can find that over on his website, jpprez.com. Lynn Smargis, thank you so much for being an awesome supporter. You can connect with Lynn at Lynn Smargis on Twitter. Thank you to Scott Titmus at SD Titmus and Kyle Wilcox at Level Up Ed Tech. Thank you to all of you for all your support. If you are interested in becoming an awesome supporter, just go to chrisnessy.com/awesome. And remember, if you've got that Amazon smart speaker, the House of Ed Tech 60-Sec Rec Flash briefing returns Monday, January 21st, and you will get brand new content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The next episode of the podcast will be 127. That comes out on February 3rd, 2019, Super Bowl Sunday. I guess I have to come up with something really super. I think I will. Until next time, thanks for learning with me, and remember, using technology isn't difficult, just give it a try.